Hello, thank you so much for joining us today, and welcome to Coffee with Catherine, virtual style. Normally, we have a monthly event for our Ladies Auxiliary Group and others in the community where we invite people into one of our facilities and feed them breakfast and coffee and every now and then a mimosa and talk about Circle of Life. And a lot of times I invite friends to join me and we talk about different things that we do in caring for the patients and families we serve. So we've taken it virtual, and I'm glad you're joining us today. And in addition to you, I have Shay Mallard with me today, who is our hospitality manager. Welcome, Shay.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, glad you can join us.
Yeah.
So Shay is going to talk today about what hospitality means at Circle of Life. So talk a little bit about what it means to you and how you incorporate that in the service to our patients and families.
For me, hospitality is overall just providing comfort, a clean, comforting environment, bringing people together. It's baking cookies and the smells and the things that you see when you're here. We try to create a home-like environment. So there's a saying on the wall at my son's school, and it says, "Go the extra mile. It's never crowded." And that is my team's goal, is to always go above and beyond and ask, what more can I do? What can I offer for you? And I think we do a fantastic job of that.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. I know many times I walk into one of our buildings and you just get the smell of fresh baked cookies, and it brings a whole nother level of comfort
Yeah.
when you walk in and you have those comforting warm smells.
Mm-hmm.
What are some other things that specifically you do for some of our families that brings that extra layer of comfort?
We really try to always make ourselves available. Anything that if the nurses feel like that there's something that we can offer specifically to a patient, and they'll come and say, "Hey, can you go in that room and see what they want to eat? They're not eating well," for instance. And so we're able to just kind of go in there and say, "Hey, my name is Shay and I'm with the hospitality team. Is there anything special or specific that you'd like for us to feed you?" So whenever my team goes in and clean rooms, we always start by introducing ourselves and offering to take care of whatever the needs are. And then once we finish, we always finish it by saying, "I finished cleaning your rooms. Can I get you anything else?
Mm-hmm.
Can I get you a pillow or an extra blanket?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's those small things like that that really make people feel our comforting environment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what are some specific asks that you've been able to take care of for people that are extra special to them?
We've recently had a patient who wanted oysters. He wanted oysters, and we searched high and low for these oysters. We're landlocked, so you can't just go to the store and get fresh oysters. And so we called around to a few different restaurants, and a lot of them would offer them to you, but you have to eat them inside the facility. They wouldn't let you take them out. But we finally found one place that had them, and so we were able to get them and shuck them in the kitchen so that everything was safe and everything was kept at the proper temperature, and give him oysters. And he ate 2 trays. He was so happy. And then just the cleaning part is huge. I mean, we go in and we make conversation while we're cleaning. We're mopping the floor and just talking about what's on TV or current events, and just making sure that we're just always open and available to people.
Yeah, I've seen that happen time and time again for our patients and families. Your team is amazing at
Yes.
making those little requests
Mhm.
happen for people that means so much to them.
Yes.
One of my favorite stories that has to do with your team is when I was touring someone through our inpatient facility here in Bentonville a couple years ago, and we were walking down the main hallway between the nursing units, and your team was cooking bacon, and it smelled heavenly. And the lady that I was touring, she said, I had a uncle that was here a few years ago, and she said, "You all made the best bacon." He apparently had high cholesterol, and so his wife would never let him have bacon. And then when he came on hospice and he was in the inpatient unit, your doctor said, "It's fine, he can have bacon," and you all made it for him as much as he wanted, and he was so happy, and that just brought so much joy to him. So it really is those little things that make a big difference to people. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, and speaking of some of those little things we're actually able to make happen, it's because of our Ladies Auxiliary and the Angel Fund that they raise money towards to make those end-of-life wishes come true.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a specific story related to things the Angel Fund has paid for people that your team has helped with?
One of my absolute favorite stories is we had a patient here who hadn't had lobster in a really long time, and somehow it was discussed, and the social worker had the idea of, well, let's try to get them lobster. Let's try to make them, a lobster, not just for him, but for he and his wife as well. And so we created a date night. So we have a table, black tablecloth, covered trays. It was just wonderful. And just the look of awe and surprise on their faces was everything. Like, I'll take that with me forever. Mm-hmm. And another story, actually, we had a patient who was in our IPU, and his brother had a birthday. And and his brother was his caretaker, and he said, I always feel like he takes care of me, but I never get to do anything for him. The Angel Fund provided us with the funds to make an Italian meal for he and his brother to share, and he wanted to make sure that his brother had wine and everything, just the whole 9 yards. And we were able to set that up, and it was a surprise birthday dinner for his brother, and so
that's so cool.
Yeah, and it was wonderful, and just him knowing, or him being able to set that up for his brother did so much for him. It was so wonderful.
Yeah, I know your team has really made some of those milestones in people's lives special, whether it's an anniversary or a birthday, because often it's the last one with that loved one that we're caring for. And so we feel so blessed to be able to provide those things through our Angel Fund, through the Ladies Auxiliary, and through Shay and her amazing team who helped make those things come true. So Shay, thank you again for joining us for our Ladies Auxiliary Coffee with Catherine. And thank you again so much to you and your team for the special things that you do for the patients and families we serve.
Oh, thank you for everything that you do, but it is our absolute pleasure to take care of everybody here.
And thank you all for joining us again today for our Coffee with Catherine, and we hope to see you all again soon. Have a great day.